Oh, okay, I'll go ahead and get started. Since we're recording this anyways, and many people will see it later on anyways. But good morning, everyone who's joining us today. I am Dr. Brooke. I'm the one you're getting lots of emails from right now. And joining me today is our international student counselor, Haley Leonard Ninegar. And we're here to help you through all of your orientation and arrival things. And we're going to talk today about orientation slash opening week is what you'll also hear it called a lot at SEMO. And Haley will dive in also and talk about our Fearless in 4 program. That's 4 weeks of fun things to do. But I'm going to jump right in with our orientation schedule just so you're familiar with this. This is a document we'll get emailed out, either maybe today. I'll probably sending it today to students. But we just got it finalized yesterday. But we've got things that we have to wait on before we can really finalize the schedule. But something that's not mentioned on this particular schedule is or what we call our arrival days, which are Monday and Tuesday, so August 17th and August 18th. So those are the days that the majority of our students who are not in the country yet, they are arriving. A lot of them have asked for transportation from us from the St. Louis or the Cape Girardeau airports, so we're arranging all of that. And if you have requested airport pickup, you're going to get a final itinerary basically from me on Thursday afternoon. I have to wait until I've collected all of the arrival forms from students as the deadline to request airport pickup is this Thursday at noon at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Missouri. So if you haven't filled out that form yet, go ahead and get that filled out. Even if you aren't requesting pickup, we do still need the arrival form from every student who has a visa. But getting right into it, if you are living on campus, you are required to have a meal plan that you've paid for, and that allows you to eat on campus with just a swipe of your Red Hawks ID card. But those meal plans actually become active on Tuesday, August 18th. I believe they are starting that morning. I think that's right, Haley. I don't think they're waiting till 6 p.m. I think the meal plan does start at breakfast time. Do you know?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it should start in the beginning.
yeah, but so that's actually fairly early this year. Usually meal plans start about dinner time on Thursday. So I'm very excited that the campus is opening up their dining facilities earlier because that better accommodates all of our students. But then Wednesday, August 19th at 12 p.m., we do have a lunch that is sponsored by the Baptist Student Center. They are located on 909 Normal Avenue. Normal Avenue is the road that the big academic hall is on. Academic is kind of like that center point of our campus that has the big dome that our logo is and things like that. But it's on the corner of Normal Avenue and Pacific Street. And then at 5 p.m., we'll have dinner at the International Village, which is also where our orientation is held. But 5 p.m. on Wednesday, International Village, Chi Alpha International, which is a kind of a religious student organization. They are hosting a delicious dinner. I believe it's Japanese curry that night, but 1025 North Sprigg Street. It is just to the north of the Towers complex for those of you who live in Towers, but right there on Sprigg Street across from Domino's Pizza. Then Tuesday is our big day, August 20th, 9 o'clock a.m. mandatory check-in event. So orientation next Thursday, August 20th is mandatory. There are a few of you we know. I know our soccer team cannot be there. We got a lot of international students on our soccer team. They can't be there. They have a match that day. So I'm working with them to get them through their orientation needs. But for those of you who are not arriving in Cape Girardeau yet because of how your visa appointments lined up, I will work with you the first week classes to make sure we take care of your needs for missing orientation. But if you are in town, you do need to be at orientation. So it starts at 9 o'clock. Be there at 9 o'clock. Don't wait. Because we have a lot of things to do during the check-in event. And then 10:15 is at AM is when our actual orientation will begin. We'll have different sessions, informational sessions. And a lot of these sessions, they're not presented on the online pre-arrival orientation. So, and if they are part of that online orientation, you're getting more detailed information during these face-to-face sessions. So we do have to take attendance at a certain point for legal purposes. I have to report that to the SEVP that you were at our orientation and have completed the various tasks there. At lunch for that day, that will be at the International Village, that's sponsored by Lighthouse Ministry, one of our student organizations here. They always do a delicious dinner or a lunch for us at some point, and they just happen to be doing it at noon that day. And then we've got from 1 that says 1 to 3:30. It may be more like 1 to 4. So if you're planning for that, our sessions will continue. But yeah, lots of information there. And then at 8 p.m. is our big move-in bash. This will be at Dempster Hall, which is this is so funny but I would say it's kind of above the International Village, but you literally walk up a hill up and you're at Dempster. So if you live in Towers, you kind of go out the back door of the second floor of Towers, and you just keep walking up hills until you get to Dempster. But there will be a lot of students all walking there at the same time. But that is for all new students. So international students, domestic students, whoever, students who live off campus, who live on campus, but it is just a big party. And there will be different like food vendors there for free, dance party, whatever, but it's always a fun time. So yeah. Then Friday, we do have one more session on Friday morning. It'll be at 9:45. Be at the International Village, and that's it's a fun session that we do to kind of get the day started. And we want to gather everybody there for our big new student convocation for our undergraduate students and pathway students. So. Graduate students, more than welcome to come on Friday morning to the International Village, but the big new student convocation is only for the undergraduate and our pathway students. And so we'll kind of separate you out in that thing. But that new student convocation, it's kind of a huge welcoming event for all new SEMO students. We'll walk you there to the big Show Me Center. That's our basketball arena. Together, and then they'll have more sessions for our new students that afternoon, and they'll take care of some administrative things that have to get done with our new students that day. And then at 7 p.m., a long-standing tradition. This was a thing when I was a freshman in college back in 2003. I'm showing my age. But the ice cream pig out at 7 p.m. At the Recreation Center, which is in the same building as the Show Me Center. It's just behind there. So I do want to hit on a few more things. Sorry, I've got my Zoom picture right over my scrolling bar for my document here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So a few other details about that opening week. The shopping shuttle. So we have the Cape Transit Authority city bus, and they run a route all around the campus, and then that route goes all around town. And they do have a pickup right outside the International Village, not on Sprigg Street, but on New Madrid Street. So if you kept walking around the International Village, you're going to you'll see a big CTA bus stop sign on New Madrid Street, and that's where you would wait for the bus there. They pick up at other locations on campus too. So if you download the Trip Shot app, that shows you, it has a shuttle tracker on it and shows you where the shuttle is and it gives you route ideas. So if you need to go to Walmart, do you need to get off this, I think it's blue route, there's a blue or a green route shuttle. Do you get on, or is it maybe by letters? I can't remember, shuttle A, shuttle B, something like that. But, at one point you'll get off at the plaza, the shopping plaza, and get on a different shuttle to go on to Walmart. And so it's helpful to kind of download that Trip Shot app so that you can familiarize yourself with that shuttle system. It is totally free for students to use. Everybody in Cape Girardeau can use that bus for free. It's not ever very busy, so that's a good thing. But if you do need to go shopping, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's a great day to go shopping. Jump on that shuttle bus. I will say, Cape is very popular with Uber and Lyft rideshare services. So if you want to go ahead and download the Uber or the Lyft rideshare app, and that way you can Uber out to Walmart. I will say at a busy time of day, it costs about $17 to get from like Towers to Walmart. So that's something to think about. Earlier in the mornings, it's cheaper when they're not as busy. So, and then we do offer for our undergraduate students, many of you have been having to take the writing placement exam. All of our undergraduate students, unless they were U.S. or unless they were transfer students who transferred in English and math credits, you do have to take the writing placement exam. Most of you have done that online. Some of you may have done it online and you may have failed it for some reason and the score didn't count, or maybe you didn't get a score you were hoping for, and that kind of placed you in a remedial English class. So if you want, you can take a walk-in writing placement exam and retake that test basically on Tuesday, August 18th from anywhere between 9 a.m. and 3:30 at Testing Services. They are also located in Dempster Hall. There's a side entrance. If you're looking on the building, the right-hand side entrance, walk in that door and immediately turn right. You'll see Testing Services. Again, this is only for bachelor students. So our undergraduate students need to take that writing placement exam if you haven't already taken it online, or if you're taking it online and you want to retake it in person, you can do that. And then if you do get a better score and you've already been enrolled in classes, make sure you reach out to your academic advisor so that they can adjust your schedule, so that you're not in that remedial writing situation anymore. So, and then all new students need to get, we have mandatory meningitis vaccines and TB testing. Let me back up. The meningitis vaccine is mandatory for students who are living on campus. You will have a hold on your student account for the meningitis vaccine from the Office of Residence Life until you get that meningitis vaccine. If you get it at the clinic will inform Residence Life that you've had this and that will be taken care of. If you don't do it, you'll keep getting emails and you'll get spoken to by your resident assistant on your hall. Yo, do your meningitis vaccine. So this is mandatory, but the TB testing is mandatory for all international students. So unless you have proof that you have done TB testing with an American CDC, that's the Center for Disease Control, if you have proof from the CDC that you have already done your TB testing. If you've got that, you can present it to the health clinic, or to the Office of Residence Life, not the Residence Life, our health services offices. Just present it to the health clinic. They'll take care of it. But the majority of our students, though, they are just doing the TB testing at us, even if they've already done it before. It's not a big deal. It's a simple, tiny, tiny little blood draw. And it's free to you. You don't pay money to do that. But there's a long way for me to say our meningitis vaccine and TB testing will be happening on Wednesday, August 19th at the Campus Health Clinic. That is on Pacific Street. So great timing if you go and eat lunch at the Baptist Student Center at noon. Just walk straight up the hill on Pacific Street, and the Campus Health Clinic is located in Crisp Hall. And you'll see a sign to your left if you walk all the way up the top of that hill on a building, and it says Campus Health Clinic on the side of that door. Just go in that door, and then you'll walk to your right, and there's the Campus Health Clinic. Go in there, do your TB testing on Wednesday. But they are doing that anytime between 8:30 a.m. and I believe 3:30 p.m. And so, yeah, or you can go there, do your TB testing, then go to the lunch at the Baptist Student Center. It's very convenient because they're just up the hill from each other. So then, and if you are in town already on Wednesday, please do it then. Please, 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 I am begging you, the Campus Health Clinic staff are begging you, please go then on that Wednesday if you are already in town to the Campus Health Clinic and do your TB testing. Because the only other option is on Thursday, August 20th, during our check-in event at the International Center. The clinic will be at the International Center to do your TB testing. However, there's a lot of students they've got to get through in only an hour. And so If you are just getting to town and like Wednesday evening or that Thursday morning, yes, you may need to do your TB testing there at the check-in event. Everybody else do it the Wednesday before because we need to have time to get through all the students. So let's see here. If you cannot do it that Wednesday or Thursday, you can walk into the campus health clinic any day the first week of classes, and they will do your TB testing for you. If you don't get it done during that first week of classes, you're going to start getting contacted by our Dean of Students office and saying, hey, you've become a health risk. You have not done your TB test. You cannot go to your classes until you've done your TB testing. So make sure you are getting that taken care of. Everybody, like I mentioned, student ID services. So every student will have a student ID. This is used for a lot of things like renting your textbooks, using your meal plan, getting into the recreation center, going to athletic events, going to performances at the river campus, getting student discounts all around town, just various things they use your student ID for. We actually use your student ID at our International Village at the mandatory orientation whenever we're taking attendance. If you don't have it that day, that is fine. We have another way of taking your attendance, but it's helpful for me if you have your ID because I can scan it really quick. But some of you have filled out the online student ID request form ahead of time. I did send an email about that. It is also on the online orientation. So go ahead and do that if you can and are able to, because then we will have your student ID for you at the front desk of our office, I believe starting the afternoon of Monday. So we should have those on Monday. If not, we'll have them for you at the check-in event for sure on Thursday and have you collect those there. So yeah, but you'll see all of if you do need to go get your ID made in person, if you haven't filled out that online form and requested it online ahead of time, you'll just go to ID Services that's located in the University Center. The University Center is on the corner of Normal Avenue and Henderson Street. And that is where you'll get your ID made on the fourth floor, and you can see their times of operation there. U.S. Bank, they will be U.S. Bank and Regions Bank will be. U.S. Bank it's a national chain, but it's also an international friendly bank. Regions Bank is more of a regional bank. It's what's called Regions, but they do serve international students as well. It just depends on you might, if you're needing banking services in the U.S., you might look at U.S. Bank's website and Regions Bank website and see which one you would like to do banking services with. U.S. Bank and Regions Bank will be at our check-in event on Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10:15 for students to open bank accounts if they wish. Or U.S. Bank has easy walk-in services, and we have their instructions here for going to the physical location. And you can use the CTA bus. If you get off at the Best Buy stop on the CTA bus, you'll just walk. You'll see the U.S. Bank sign kind of across down. There's a shopping strip by Best Buy or a big electronic store. And if you walk in front of that shopping strip, then right on the other side of that, on the same side of the street, is U.S. Bank. So they do offer walk-in services. And at some point with any of our banks, you will have to physically go to the bank to actually make your deposits. They can only open your accounts and work with you at that point at the check-in event, but to actually deposit money or anything like that, you've got to go physically to one of their bank branches and locations. So and then like I said, I'll be emailing this out today, but here's our information about the city bus and downloading the app and their hours and everything like that. So, all right, I spoke a lot, but orientation week is very important, and that is why this is one of our longer sessions that we give for our little SE 101 sessions. So that's it for opening week and orientation, but I'm going to turn it over to Haley. She'll talk a little more about the Fearless in 4. So.
Thank you. That was very, very helpful, Brooke. And I'm sure the students appreciate like a little bit more of a breakdown on it. So my name is Haley Leonard-Nenninger. Again, I am the International Student Counselor here at the International Office. And my job mostly entails just helping with well, more recently, it's OPT and CPT authorization and things and details, and some like orientation stuff with Dr. Brooke, events and programming, and kind of a little bit of everything. So today I'm
I
going to
will
talk
also
to you.
add, can I stop you? I'll ask, one of her big roles with you all is health insurance. So she'll be working with you and enrolling you in your health insurance plans. So
Yes.
watch from her, read them. I will say any email you get from me or from Haley or from DSO at SEMO.edu, always read those emails because they are always important. We're the
Yes.
most important people on campus to you. I'm kind of not even.
Yeah, I mean it could mean the difference between like your visa being canceled sometimes. It can be your health insurance is overdue or there's fun events going on campus, and a lot of students end up missing out on a lot of important stuff or fun events because they don't pay attention. So that's just a little plug for sure to make sure that you're staying on top of it. It's a good idea just to check your student email at least once a day at minimum, just in case we reach out to you for any reason. But something a little bit more fun. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. But this is the Fearless in 4 page. So basically, what I'm doing is I am pretending to be a student and I am bored. So I am looking for SEMO events to do. And in the very beginning of the school year, we have something called Fearless in 4. Fearless in 4 is a celebration of the students coming to campus for the first time. And so it's jam-packed. I believe that it's 4 weeks of events that are like nonstop, whether it be like our athletics department, our stuff. There's stuff from basically every department on campus during those first 4 weeks. And so if you are bored after you get here, you're doing something wrong. Just because there's so much stuff that is happening. It's a really, really good idea to check out this page. So all I did was I typed in SEMO events. You can do this on your phone, you can do it on your computer, whatever. So whenever you click on it, this is the main events page. So right now we have everything listed on here. So there's a lot going on. Even right now, there's an event that's going on. The our athletics is having like a volleyball game. If you go to filter by category right here at the top and you want something specific, like I want Fearless in 4 only right now, we'll focus on that one. These events all have the tag Fearless in 4. So you can see that the very first event on August 20th is going to be the Move-In Bash, which Brooke already kind of talked about a little bit. That's going to be at Dempster Hall, which is one of our academic buildings, and it's in the parking lot. But it's going to be a really, really big event. A lot of students really, really enjoy going, and those who don't go really regret not going. So it's a really fun like block party event. And there's going to be tons and tons of students there, new students, old students, all sorts of things. It's a lot of fun. So there's that. We have trivia, convocation, which this is on your orientation schedule as well, and a bunch of different stuff that is particularly relevant to Fearless in 4. But you can switch the category to athletic events if you want to go to like a baseball game or volleyball, or you want to go to basketball, anything like that. All of them should be listed on here. And athletics also has their own website as well. But there's tons and tons and tons of stuff that is going on. And then I also wanted to show you that we also have an event. It's not quite listed on here yet. It just got finalized like 2 days ago, but we also have an event. It's called the World of Friends event. So, World of Friends is a new thing that we're trying out. It is that Saturday, August 22nd. It does start at 9 p.m. So, it is a movie, friendship bracelet, like snack and board game kind of night. It's just a really easy, laid back event for students to come and make friends. We specifically want to promote it as our making new friends with our international students, because whenever you're coming to a completely new country for the first time, it's really hard to make new friends. And so this is a really great opportunity to open up and have like a good icebreaker so that you have something to talk about with other people. We're going to be showing an international movie. I'm not quite sure what the movie is going to be yet, but we're looking at something like a K-drama, like a Korean movie, or something from Bollywood. So we're kind of figuring that out right now. But there's going to be snacks, there's going to be some drinks, and then it's just a really fun, just laid back thing. So we are welcoming all students to come to that and support us for our first event of the year. There's going to be a ton of other stuff that is also happening this year. We're still in the planning process of that. But please, 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 like we talked about before, stay tuned to your emails. You can follow us on social media as well on our Instagram and our Facebook page, which I can show you here. Our Instagram is the most active, but this is where I post all of our events. Anything that we ever do will be posted on here, including our big Carpe Diem event, which is our huge international event later, I guess, early next year. That will usually happen in February, March, or um, around that time. So please, please, please keep your eyes out for that. But back to Fearless in 4. So Fearless in 4 is a bit of a tradition on the campus. And so a lot of students really feel like they fit in with the environment a lot better whenever they attend one or more of these events. And so we highly, highly, highly recommend getting active on campus, just because the difference that we hear from students who participate in stuff like this and those who don't is night and day. People who go to events, who join organizations, who get involved, not only do they have a better resume, but they also find better networking opportunities, and then they also feel like they're more a part of the community. So if you're really wanting to start your experience off strong, I really, really recommend doing it at minimum just one or two of the events during Fearless in 4, and then continuing to join us for other stuff in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Fearless in 4. But I will open it up to any kind of questions or anything. If anybody has something that they would like to know more about, whether that be orientation, Fearless in 4, anything like that, please, please, please feel free to mention that. You can type in the chat if you don't really feel comfortable with unmuting, or you can unmute and you can ask us a question as well. But one more plug too, I guess. We do actually have a Facebook group for our incoming international students as well. The link to that, I believe, is in Dr. Brooks' greetings email, correct?
Yes, correct.
So we highly recommend joining that Facebook group because it is only for students who are incoming for the first time this semester. So you are able to meet new students before you get here. You can plan for rides. If you have similar flights from one of the airports, you can find roommates. We've had people who find roommates on there. It's a really good opportunity to get connected with us, and we post updates in terms of like the orientation schedule, upcoming events that are coming the first couple of days, and important tips and information for you before you come. So that's also a really good idea to join that. But yeah, I think I think you did a really good job, Brooke. We have one question. My visa appointment is on the 23rd of August. What should I do to give the writing test online?
So the math and writing placement exam information is all on the online orientation, the pre-arrival orientation. And that is something you can take without having a visa. So anybody who's listening, if you go to the online orientation and go to the very first module called Academic Advising and Enrollment, you'll see in that first module, once you click on it, the exams, the instructions for taking the math and the writing placement exams ahead of time. And that, again, that is only for our bachelor's or undergraduate students who are not transferring in college level math and English classes. So, but everybody else has to take those placement exams. Even our domestic students have to take the math and writing placement exams for. Or the other option is if you have taken the SAT, you can submit, you can have College Board submit your official SAT scores to SEMO, and we'll use those scores to determine your math and English placement. So, and again, I'm talking about I'm talking about the English class, that every student has to take. I'm not talking about like an intensive English class or US language class, anything like that. This is the actual kind of like what would you call English composition courses that all college students have to take. So I will say, the student mentioning the appointment on August 23rd. Keep in mind the absolute last day to enroll in classes is Friday, August 28th. That is the Friday of the first week of classes. That is the absolute last day any student can enroll in classes for the fall semester. You do have to have a visa before we allow you to enroll. So make sure if you're not going to be at the orientation that you are completing the online orientation and following the instructions for how to enroll in classes online, or virtually, I should say, not enrolling in online only classes, but how do you enroll, when you're not here in the country. But you do need to do that immediately once you get your visa, start that process. Go ahead and take your placement test now, though. And then the absolute last day you can enter the US for the fall semester is August 31st. So the SEVP, the US Customs agents, they are well aware of our class start dates. And so anybody arriving more than a week after classes start, they don't allow into the country. So make sure you are getting to the US before August 31st. If you don't, you need to defer your admission to the January term. So yeah, I've had a few students tell me, my appointment's not until September 1st or whatever. Well, if your visa appointment's not till September 1st, well after the start date on your I-20, your visa will be denied. So you need to defer your admission and have a new I-20 with a future program start date before you go to your visa interview. Do I need to do the placement test as an exchange student? Only if you are planning to enroll in a math or English class. A lot of our exchange students don't enroll in those classes. They're usually enrolling in something within their content area. So make sure you work with your academic advisor on that. But your advisor would tell you, like, hey, if you're going to take this English class, we do need your writing placement exam. So but most of the time, our exchange students, those are our J1 visa holders, in case anyone's curious. They're short-term visiting students, usually enrolling in content area. But yeah, only take those placement tests if you're planning on taking a math or English class here at SEMO. Are there any other questions about anything else? It doesn't have to be related to orientation, just anything here as a new incoming student. One thing I would go ahead and mention too is especially if you're arriving in the evening, if you're living on campus, you can only check into your dorms between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. So keep that in mind. Our residence life staff are very, very strict because of safety issues and because of basically courtesy to roommates who may already be here. We have a lot of students on campus already for various like band camp, football practice, you name it. So if you have a roommate and you walk into your room at 11:30 at night, you could be waking somebody up. But mostly for safety reasons, they do not allow anybody to check in unless it's between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. So plan for your arrival. If you cannot get checked in at that time, you'll need to have a hotel room or a B&B or something that B like a Verbo, something, whatever. I'm trying to think of the word here, but you'll need some other accommodation that evening. And then let's see, if you're living off campus, make sure you've arranged with your landlord or your roommates or whoever that you'll have a key at whatever time you're arriving. And if you can't get that, make sure you have a hotel or some other living situation planned that evening. A lot of our students I have found somehow they manage to pack their linens and things like their sheets and their towels and pillows and stuff. And that's always amazing to me how many students are able to do that. If not, a lot of our students order their things ahead of time through like Amazon or Walmart or wherever, and they have those linens and things shipped directly to their dorm. Contact the Office of Residence Life if you're going to do that, and they will help you with the proper address that you need to ship those to, so that they'll have that whenever you check in. But a lot of our students will just, if they're arriving in the evening, they'll just get an Uber or a Lyft and they'll go out to Walmart and do their shopping or to Target or wherever, get their linens and things, then just buy them here. They what's the word I'm looking for? The shuttle, the city bus, it stops operation at 4 p.m. or 4:30 every day, I believe. So if you're getting here in the evening, you'll need to use like Uber or Lyft. And the other thing I was going with is, oh, if you do arrive, if we're checking you into your dorms and you do arrive way late, and you have absolutely nothing for your bed, we do have a few things that a church donated to us, little linen sets that we can loan you, and that way you'll at least have like a pillow and a sheet and a blanket and a towel your first night there, so you're not completely stranded if you're living on campus. So yeah, but plan ahead. What does day one, night one look like when you arrive in at SEMO, and what time will you be getting to various places? I will say those of you who have requested pickup from us on Monday and Tuesday, it is looking at this point like we'll be getting you actually at about 3:30 at the airport, unless something changes and a student does send another arrival form with a later pickup time. But as of right now, it looks like Dr. Kevin will be meeting you at the information desk at exit 17 of the Terminal 1 baggage claim at around 3:30 p.m. in St. Louis at the airport. And so that means we'll get you two towers around 5:30ish. And that's where you check in any dorm that you're living in. You always check in at the main towers complex, and then we'll help you move into your dorms. Or if you're living off campus, Dr. Kevin will drive you to your off campus location. So planned right now for about a 5:30 Cape Girardeau arrival. That is plenty of time to hop on an Uber and Lyft and go shopping if you need to. Um, yeah, and I'm trying to think anything else. Haley, do you know what I'm thinking?
Can't think of anything else.
No, but yeah. But
Bring
again,
bring
just
a
keep
plug converter and
but again.
bring a plug converter
Oh yes, yeah,
for your
through like a
electronics and a charger.
US.
Please make sure your phone is charged before you get here.
Yeah, and I will say, yeah, good point. Plug converters for your different electronics and things like that, to match US plugs. Then, but you said something that, what did you say? Oh, thinking of, but like, um, you'll see, you should have gotten an email. Was it earlier this week, Monday? I think I sent it on Monday about Campus Sims and Mint Mobile. And if you have an eSIM card, eSIM compatible phone, you can go ahead and set up your US cell phone plan so that the moment you arrive in the US, you have access to your cellular data, basically. You should be able, if you don't have that yet, you can connect to the Wi-Fi in most cases immediately, but as we all know, airport Wi-Fi especially can be really spotty, and so it may not work. So it's best to have, if you have eSIM compatible, just buy that first month, little cheapo Mint Mobile plan, and a lot of our students just stick with Mint Mobile. It's a great price with great coverage. But yeah, think about your cell phone before you get here and how you're going to handle that. We will have physical SIM cards available at the International Village for your phone. And those of you who we're picking up from the airport will have a supply of those in case anybody needs those right when they arrive with us. So, but yeah, so think about your cell phone before you arrive too. So, well, with that said, sorry this was a longer session, but to me, it's one of the more important sessions that we do. But yes, please, please go to those different events. I'm going to send out the schedule I showed you today. So yeah, go to those things, get it done. And we can't wait to see you on Thursday, or some of you will be seeing you even earlier. I usually go to the lunches and dinners. Haley probably be there too. So I'll be happy to meet you all in person. And so yeah, I know some of you don't have visas yet. And if it doesn't work out this semester, I really, really hope it works out for January and we can see you in January. So,
Right.
all
Thanks so
right.
much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
All.
Thank you. Thank you. And you're always free to email us too at any time. So
Yeah.
please don't hesitate if you have questions.
Yeah. The best email is always DSO. It stands for Designated School Official, by the way, because that's what we are with the SEVP, but DSO at SEMO.edu. So,
There we go. Sent it. I sent it in the chat for everyone. They need that. But all right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And I think this is the last session of this summer. But we should start to have them again, I believe, starting in September or October. And those are going to be
believe
new
so.
sessions. So feel free if you missed some of the other ones and you would like to join those, or if you have incoming friends who are going to be coming, definitely aim them towards those videos and in those meetings. And um, it's going to be about all different things all over campus. So, we hope you have a wonderful night or day or whatever time it is for you, and we'll see you whenever you get on campus. All right.
All right. See
Bye.
ya.